Hey everyone, welcome to Small Talk Sundays, where I just do some small talk on Sundays. So, yeah, no upload for last week. I probably should have said that ahead of time, instead of, afterwards, but, yeah, I decided to take a break this week, mostly because the last video I did, I kind of probably pushed a few moments on my own end a little too hard here and there, and I kind of got really worn out with editing, so I took a bit of a break. And at this point, I have started Shadowbringers, and there's quite a few things I would like to say about it, but I'm not going to say it here. And I'm only just done the level 71 quest of Shadowbringers, and oh my lord, I have recorded every step of the way I've done so far. I've tweaked with some resolution settings, not just resolution, I've tweaked with some video settings all around in general, mostly because I remember one of the first comments I remember seeing on the my Final Fantasy 14 video was something about my HUD looking kind of hard to look at, so I did a bit of rearranging with my HUD a bit. It's not what you see currently, but you'll see eventually. But I've kind of minimalized a bunch of the clutter on my HUD. I made it a lot more photogenic in a sense. And another thing that I only recently found out, despite the fact that I've been doing this for years at this point, so I tend to play video games with borderless windowed mode on because I like being able to just alt-tab smoothly. Well, it turns out the resolution is locked at 1280 720p when you do that. So, yeah. My recording software has been registering things as 1920 by 1080 because that's how big my screen is. So it's been recording that. But the actual detail of the resolution of everything on screen is actually 720p. And I apologize for that. Not what you're seeing now. What you're seeing now is after all the things that I've done and changed. So, yeah, whoops. So I've got that thing that I kind of like dealt with and fixed, hopefully. I've also gotten this thing called Reshade for the first time ever. I remember looking up some other videos of some other Final Fantasy 14 content creators, and I was like, wow, how does their game look so good? Gosh, they're like, the graphics, I don't know if I can crank them any too much higher. Like, I can, but even that, it just doesn't look the same as what they're doing. I'm just like, what's going on? How do they get everything so smooth? And then I realized they use either like a Reshade or G-Shade, and I'm like, what are these things? So I looked into that, and my friend apparently uses it on like everything, and so I had some guidance from them, and now my, hopefully, picture quality is looking better than what it was before, because like I can tap the thing back and forth, and compare what the usual settings is and the Reshade look is, and I'm like, wow, it's so much different. And I feel like I can still push it more if I was more adept with using the dang thing to make things look even better for everyone, but I'm not quite adept with it quite yet. And honestly, I feel like if I'm going to be on Final Fantasy 14, I should probably be investing time into MSQ, which is something I have not been doing as of late because I haven't gotten around to it. Again, I got distracted some more, but I'll get back to the MSQ thing. But I have recorded all my reactions thus far to Shadowbringers, and I am wanting that to be a series and a potential thing that'll be happening on the channel. Granted, it's not going to be like a long, just like unedited playthrough, though that would be easier on me if I could just do that, but I'm going to edit them into more compilation type stuff, and when it comes to like the big events, I'll probably slow down the edits and whatnot to allow a bit of a build up. But I have heard you guys in the last Small Talk Sunday, and I've actually been working on trying to write down the script for what I want to say with the my brief summary of A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood. I already had to cut back a couple drafts because I got a little long-winded, and I pretty much go through the entire freaking journey like step by step instead of like saying an overview, so I need to figure out how to like condense it. I want the video to be like around like 5 minutes long. I want it to be 5 minutes long-ish so people can get a brief like summary of how I feel about things, and then I can get to getting the reaction videos done, because those are, I'm pretty sure it's like kind of common knowledge on YouTube that reaction videos are one of the easiest, to put it nicely, methods of content you can make. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to do a little bit of that just to get some stress off my shoulders a little bit, because I hate seeing just a string of Small Talk Sundays. Like, I'm kind of forgiving myself with this one because it's like, man, that last video was kind of a rough thing to go through, so I'm kind of like not feeling too upset about this Small Talk Sunday being like the next video outside of the last one, but I'm going to want to change that, and the dream is to upload those reaction videos daily, but I know I'm gonna want to edit through them, and the minimum I can get is like once every 2 day. Like that's the minimum that I can do. But yeah, I wanted to get that retrospective out first before being able to go through all the reaction stuff as I'm going through Shadowbringers, because as of this moment in this recording, I have done level 71 MSQ of Shadowbringers, the very first one, and nothing more. And there's things I want to say already about this. This expansion, compared to the other expansions, this one is already off to a hard banger. Like, Stormblood took a good minute to kick up. Heaven's Word, it had this like tension kind of all around, though it did have its low points, just not as slow starting as Stormblood, in my opinion. A Realm Reborn is a Realm Reborn, so that's that. And then you get Shadowbringers, and it kicks you right there, right so freaking soon. I've literally just in the level 70 MSQs, it's already got to you. I'm like, wow, chillax for a second. And okay, I'm about to go on a rant on that, and I'm gonna say that for another video. I've already got a lot of things to say about Shadowbringers, and I'm only just getting to the level 71 part. Dagnabbit, I'm in for a ride, aren't I? And yes, folks, I am glad that I held off on any music talk video until Shadowbringers, because the music here it's an entirely different feel altogether from the rest of the game. I'm actually impressed. And I did hear that there was a new, like, composer who was on board, and I think he was more of a metalhead rock guitarist. I can't quite remember. I don't recall the name right now, but I should and absolutely will when I ever get to talking to music, because this is such a different and good vibe to the whole thing, and it's like a nice breath of fresh air, because what you're used to the whole time is just a bunch of fantasy music or from a Realm Reborn. In Heaven's Word, you get more of the gothic feel. Stormblood embraces its Eastern heritage, and so you get a bunch of Eastern feel with that. And Shadowbringers, this is freaking metal, man. Not exactly metal either. It's like some type of, well, the generic battle theme is just like like just immediately, and I was like, what the crap is this? But anyway, I'm already going too long on the tangent. But yeah, I'm wanting to do that retrospective of a brief summary of A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Word, and Stormblood. I'm gonna make a more detailed thing about that later, but for now I kind of want to make it simple to get to kind of like wean people into the whole reaction video type of thing. Now granted, I'm positive that the reaction videos aren't gonna do nearly as well as the impressions videos I've done so far, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna laze off on these in comparison to those, because I just want to be able to make content without having a friggin' aneurysm. I'm trying to get things done, and yeah, that's basically the sum of it. It's just rough. It's just rough. I'm not gonna be giving up the heavily edited stuff to begin with, because that is where I get the most satisfaction from my own personal work, but just know that that's probably gonna be a thing. So yeah, it's pretty much, I just wanted to give you all a heads up. I've heard all of you. Thank you again, by the way. I feel like I should always say thank you with all this. Thank you all again for the suggestions and whatnot, because I do appreciate it, and I do plan to do a retrospective of Shadowbringers as well. I'm not going to just rely on the reaction videos to tell the whole points of view for me, because you tend to have different points of views when you first go and experience things compared to when you actually sit around and think about it for a little while. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. New retrospective video is going to be coming out. I've started on Shadowbringers. I'm gonna start doing that reaction thing probably soon, maybe next week. And I've just UI rearrangements, working on video quality and everything, because I want things to look as good as possible for all you guys. Yeah, basically what I wanted to say, just a more casual small talk Sunday. No, not so much self-loathing as per usual, apparently, from the usual small talk Sunday. But I think that's about all I wanted to say here. So yeah, just casual, normal talk and whatnot. All right, well, thank you all very much for listening or watching, and or whatever you do. But yeah, I'm gonna just end it here. Kind of feels weird. All right, thank you all very much for watching, and you all have a wonderful life. Take care, folks.